listening to TC Talks on TNT.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's TC here, back with another episode of TC Talks. And if you missed my update, I'm having some recording issues. The audio sounds bad with the camera. The camera isn't working with the computer system or program that I have. So it's just a whole mess right now. And it's so strange because it was literally just working the other day. So that week 3 wrap up is not there. But basically, I am 8-8 in week 3, so it was a rather unfortunate showing for me. I'm still one game above 500, so not a great season so far, but I'm in the winner column, so that's always a plus. But there are a number of games coming up this week, and as you know, the Bengals and Dolphins play very soon. In fact, this video might be coming out during that game, so I want to let you know. In that short, I also called the Miami Dolphins to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I just don't see it happening. Everything is gelling for Miami at this point. The Bengals trying to get back in the winning fashion. They did so against the Jets, but it's the Jets. Are they going to be able to do the same against a top opponent in the Miami Dolphins? I question that, but I don't know. Joe Burrow, he's known to be a great fighter as an underdog, so perhaps he'll show some magic. Then the Vikings and Saints, gotta roll with the Vikings, especially if Jameis Winston is not going to be playing in that matchup. Then you have the Seahawks and Lions, and I gotta roll with the Lions. Even if DeAndre Swift does not start, I have complete faith in Jamal Williams to be able to carry the workload in the running game for Detroit. And honestly, I don't see the Seahawks getting anything going. Geno Smith had that one moment of decency against the Broncos, and then after that first drive, it just completely fell apart. So unfortunate for him, but I think it's time to accept that the Seahawks are going to be very, very bad. Geno Smith is not the answer. I know a lot of people were predicting that, but now it's confirmed. And then you have the Jets and Steelers, and let's be honest, MILF Slayer Zach Wilson is back, but has he spent too much time chasing the wrong type of pigskin? Zach Wilson has not looked good in his first few seasons. Maybe he's due this season just like Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa, but at the same time, I do not see him being able to take that next step. I think it's going to be a struggle bus for the Steelers and Jets. And as we know, the Bears are going to secure the win against the Giants. Nothing more needs to be said there. Then the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts square off. And I got to give it to the Colts, especially because Jonathan Taylor did absolutely squat last week. And the only reason why I know that is because he is my running back in fantasy. He is my number 1 running back, and he definitely did not play like one last week in week 3. So if the Indianapolis Colts are able to win without Jonathan Taylor being an absolute beast, just imagine the potential of this team if they get the ground game going alongside Matty Ice and that defense. So I think it's going to go a long way if Jonathan Taylor's able to move the ball. And the Titans have just not looked good, so I got to go with the Colts. Then the Chargers and Texans. I know the Texans beat them last year, but at the same time, I feel like Justin Herbert is ready to make that imprint in the league as well. He had a great season last year. He's looking to repeat that and get a little bit more success this year, reach the playoffs, etc. So we'll see if he's able to do that. I think they got the Texans number in this matchup. So Chargers all the way. Then the Browns and Falcons. As much as Marcus Mariota has looked good this season, I just don't see him being the answer for Atlanta. Unfortunately for them, I think the Browns are going to run all over them. The Browns have one of the best running attacks in the NFL. I think the best running attack in the NFL, actually, and the Bears are actually second behind them, which is the main reason they're going to win their game. But honestly, the Falcons are just not a good team from head to toe. And honestly, Cordell Patterson is the only weapon they have on offense. So nothing really too important to be looking at that Falcons game. So then you have the Commanders and the Cowboys. And honestly, Carson Wentz has let me down so much. I'm not even going to, not going to accept him. He's a bad quarterback. He's not going to get back to those week 1 and week 2 numbers in fantasy. He's going to be stuck in those single digits through the rest of the season. Same thing with Justin Fields. That's why I dropped him. But I dropped him for a guy that was going to do just as well with higher expectations. So it's kind of unfortunate for me. And then you got the Jaguars and Eagles. And honestly, I'm rolling with Trevor Lawrence in this one. I know I've been a big doubter, I guess a lot of you would say, but honestly, I've just been hesitant. I think Trevor Lawrence has been a good quarterback, but he's never been able to really get the firepower going. The steam engine has not been firing on all cylinders. Why it's a steam engine, I have no idea, but it's just what came to my mind. But Trevor Lawrence looked impressive in week 3, and I look for him to continue that in week 4. Then the Bills and Ravens, and let's be honest, as great as Lamar Jackson is, he might be the MVP of the league, but as a quarterback, I have to give Josh Allen the nod for the best quarterback in the NFL. How do I make sense of that? Well, a most valuable player is the guy most valuable to his team, makes the biggest impact. And while you could do that while racking up tons of yards on the ground and scoring touchdowns, does doing so necessarily make you the best quarterback in the league? I don't necessarily think so, because that way Taysom Hill would be a lot higher on the how good of a quarterback is he list. But let's be honest, he's not a good quarterback. Sure, he's able to do a lot on the ground, and they're trying to utilize him in the best way possible that they can with the Saints, but just doing the ground game alone is not enough. I know Lamar Jackson does both, but my point is I don't think the ground game counts towards him being a good quarterback. I think that his passing ability and all that goes towards him being a good quarterback, and his ability to run the ball is the reason he's going to get the MVP. Those are my thoughts. And because of that, I see the Bills coming away with this one. I don't see Josh Allen dropping 2 in a row. So then we got the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. And let's be honest, the Panthers have been choking on their mediocrity for quite some time. I thought Baker Mayfield would come in and have some rebound energy for this upcoming season, and he just hasn't shown it. He's been the exact same Baker Mayfield that we've all seen, aside from that one season where they made the playoffs. But aside from that, Baker Mayfield has just been awful, and especially in this season, he just has not looked good. Then the Broncos and the Raiders square off, and let's be honest, Russell Wilson is just past his prime. He's not there. He's not going to get back to those Super Bowl era type throws and all that good jazz. He's just not there anymore. And unfortunate for the Broncos, because they're not able to score 16 points, and the Raiders have scored at least 16 points in every contest that they've played in. So the Broncos are kind of looking like the losers in this game, and I have to go with the Raiders as well. Then you have Green Bay, one of the luckiest teams in football, taking on the Patriots, who are short a Mac Jones. And I think Bill Belichick might keep it interesting with the defense. Perhaps he's able to stifle those young receivers, perhaps. But other than that, I don't really see this one being close. If the defense doesn't look good, it's going to get ugly really fast. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, duh, but this is a Bill Belichick defense. You're not expecting it to go out there and perform like the Bears defense in week 2 against Green Bay. That's just not what you're looking for. However, Aaron Rodgers has the ability to make any team look like the Chicago Bears, so I got to go with the Green Bay Packers in this game. Then the Chiefs and Bucks. This is a big game. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes squaring off for what could be the final time. And right now, Tom Brady has a slight edge over Patrick Mahomes. But if Patrick Mahomes is able to get away with a win, these two have to meet each other in the Super Bowl to decide who is the victor, who is the better quarterback head to head on the biggest stage. But I do have the Chiefs winning this matchup here in week 4. And then you have the Rams and 49ers wrapping up week 4. And you couldn't ask for a better game. 2 low scoring powerhouses of the NFC. Yes, of course, Jimmy G and Matthew Stafford, the Pat Statter, are back in action, squaring off yet again. And I got to give it to Jimmy G in this one. I just don't see the 49ers folding in this one, especially that defense. They seem a little bit upset how the season has been going and a little bit disheartened perhaps by the fact that their starting quarterback received injury. Although there is talk that a lot of players were not excited, that's not a good way to put it, but we're looking optimistically towards the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be under center as opposed to Trey Lance. So perhaps I'm wrong in that regard, but overall, I think the 49ers are poised to be in a better position than the Rams. The Rams have just looked out of sync all season, and unfortunately for them, I think that's going to continue. Jimmy Garoppolo, he showed promise when he came in week 2 to replace Trey Lance. But other than that, I think week 3 was a different story. I think if the play calling is similar to what it was in week 2, Jimmy Garoppolo can go a long way with this team. But if they're going to continue those dink and dive plays with Jimmy G, it's going to be a long game. But I still give the edge to that 49ers defense. But I want to know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Where did I get it right? Where did I get it wrong? And honestly, guys, I think I called them pretty good this week. I want to know your thoughts, though. Is that me being braggadocious, or is TC finally right about something? Until next time, this has been TC with TC Talks. Peace.